One of the goals is to, again, live healthy and stay healthy. But then again, to what extent do we keep the promise to ourselves, and what exactly do we need to know, especially when it comes to like food, pairing, what goes well with what shouldn't you, mix with this? It's a whole lot, right? But we have a question for you, as always, right here on Your World. And the question is, have you tried any form of diet, and has it worked? All right. Have you tried any form of diet, and has it worked? That is the question that we have for you today. So as per usual, the hashtag to use is Your World, and you can interact with us on our social media platforms at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on Twitter, and tag me as well at Lubembe_Winnie. But the question is, have you tried any form of diet, and has it worked? All right. So to help us understand more about nutrition and wellness and the whole aspect about the same, we're joined by Mary Musimu, who is a clinical nutritionist. It's so good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm very fine.
Do we still say Happy New Year?
Yes, we do.
Karibu sana to the show.
Yeah.
And of course, we're so glad to have you this morning. Just talk about the whole question on nutrition and wellness, and how this, aspect is very important to all of us. So let's just start with the basics. Wellness, right?
Okay.
Nutrition and wellness. Why are this important, and how do they go hand in hand?
First, like you said, every year we tend to have resolutions about
Yes.
health and fitness and all that.
Yeah.
But as the year goes by, we kind of fall off, right?
Yes.
We don't hold on to our goals as much, right? But nutrition and wellness comes down to basically what you eat,
All right.
how you sleep, right? Your gut, your immunity, your mental health, and all that. That
Yeah.
is what encompasses wellness, right?
Okay.
And nutrition plays a very huge role in that, in terms of what types of food do you eat?
All right.
How do they influence your diet? I mean, your health, your hormones, right? Like I said, immunity,
Yeah.
and all that, and also emotions.
True.
Like what we eat
Yes.
affects how we feel
we
and how we
feel.
respond to issues, right?
Yeah.
So nutrition is a whole lot. It's not just about diet
Yes.
and exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
we-
majority of the time, that is what we're meant to think.
Yeah,
That is
but
just
it's
watch your
not.
diet, make sure you exercise, and then that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But it's way, way deeper than
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And of course, we're happy that we have you today to help us really understand that. So I'm sure you've had a lot of conversation around metabolism and, how fast or how slow
Yeah.
dictates how, your food, and how it's just too much. So just first of all, help us really understand metabolism, and why is it important for all of us to first of all understand
What metabolism is,
right?
okay.
And how that then affects how either we eat or how fast then the food gets digested. Yeah.
Metabolism has been blamed for quite a lot.
Everything. Yeah.
You see someone who has gained a lot of weight, and they say, "Oh, I have a slow metabolism." Yeah.
Yes.
But metabolism, the basic definition of it is just how our food converts food to energy. That's it.
Okay.
That's the rate at which your body converts food into energy. So some of us have a slow one, some of us have a fast one,
Yeah.
based on genetics, right? But to be sincere, metabolism has nothing to do with weight gain as such,
All right.
right? Why? Why do I say so?
Yeah.
Because let me just explain. We have a myth,
All right.
about the larger you are, the slower your metabolism. The petite people have a
Faster
fast
metabolism,
metabolism, but that's
yes.
not true.
Yeah.
The larger you are, the faster your metabolism, because your body needs more energy
Oh.
to
okay.
function, right?
Yeah.
And the petite people have a slower metabolism. But
Alright.
we have factors that
Different factors, yeah.
obviously affect you, how fast and how slow it goes, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things that has been blamed also for slow metabolism is age, right? You've had that,
Yeah.
well, as you get mid-age,
Older. Yeah. It's
you-
sort of like
it slows down when you
down.
turn 40.
Yes.
But quite interesting, there's a research was done in 2021 that reported that our metabolism doesn't change as much between 20 and 60,
Is it?
right? It doesn't. It means steady,
Okay.
right? So at 60, then you might have experience slower, but it's not that much.
Okay.
At menopause, or when you turn, people would become menopause. At menopause, they say, I have added weight because I'm at menopause,
Menopausal, yeah.
which has caused slow metabolism. That's not true.
That's not
It's
true.
not true. right? It's low. It goes down by 60.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting to hear. So really, so we shouldn't really be focused or focus more of our energy and attention to our metabolism, right? We should. We should. Okay.
There are factors that affect our metabolism, obviously, like diet.
True.
Right. One of them is a crash diet. You know, the ones that you hear all about.
Yes.
Yeah, you do. They do bring about weight loss, obviously, but they're not sustainable.
Yeah.
Right. Because the way our bodies are designed, we are more tend to lean towards survival. Right.
Okay.
Let me explain a little bit.
Uh-huh.
When you do a diet,
Okay.
right, it has calories, it has energy. That makes your body function as it should, right? But as you limit your caloric intake, that means you're taking in less than your
what
body
the
needs.
body needs.
Right? Your body goes into survival mode.
Okay.
Right? It slows your metabolism to protect itself
Alright.
and holds on to any pound that you, anything that you put on, it will hold on to it.
Alright.
Right? And that's why those diets don't work. They won't. They will slow your metabolism, and then at some point, instead of losing, you begin to add. Because your body is not burning fat, it's trying to protect itself.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. Another thing is hormones. Hormones like your thyroid hormones, they will affect your metabolism at some point. But once you rectify that, it goes back to normal.
All right.
So those two, and genetics, obviously. We have people who, God bless them, they have a faster metabolism than the rest of us. Right? Yeah, and they don't tend to put on as much weight as some people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So various factors that affect us. And of course, I'm sure there's nobody who's never had this. Make sure that you take a balanced diet. Make sure you have at least 3 meals in a day and 2 snacks in between. It's a whole lot. But then again, when it comes to the practicality of the same, is where there's a bit of an issue. And then a lot of people will tell you again, make sure that you have a heavy breakfast. At lunch you can have something light, and in the evening, I mean, you can have the lightest of the meals. But you see, for us, we actually do the opposite.
Yeah, we actually do.
We want to stack in later on as compared to early in the morning. So can we just then help us to understand how practical, this whole thing is? So that, because then again, there's some people who are really stressing themselves out because they're like, oh, I've not had like 3 meals in a day. I've not had, this or that. How will that affect my health? It's just too much.
Yeah, it is. You've heard the saying, eat breakfast like a king, lunch like what is it?
A pauper? Is it a
no?
Dinner is like a pauper.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the practicality of it, take for me example, right?
Right.
I don't have appetite. For example, I feel hungry in the morning, but I don't eat until at around 10. That is when my appetite kicks
majority
in.
of the people, yes.
Right?
We have a fast
So
meal
if you
at 10.
do it at 10, and then you're supposed to do 3 meals, how practical is that? Because at 10 you eat a meal, and then at around 1 you're supposed to eat, but your body is
still full.
You're still full, right? And then dinner, we have been raised to think that dinner is the most important meal in the planet, right? So you eat your big ugali and all that. But to be sincere, where are you going to use all that energy? You're going to bed, right?
Yeah.
So I tend to say, do what is practical to you.
Right? All right.
If whatever you need at that moment, eat when you need it, right? For example, if you're going to do a farm, you're going to the farm, just an example. You can't do a small meal and then snack in between because you need the energy. So you eat according to how your day is going to be at the end of the day, right? There are people who like to snack in between. I don't, but if that is you, go for it. But also make sure you don't overdo it, right? Because our portions, we need to talk about that, because you will meet someone, someone who says, I only eat once a day. We have met them, right?
So you have like one major meal.
But then you look at that meal and you're like, God have mercy, it's
a lot.
It's a lot of food that 3 people can eat, right? So it's not just about the frequency of it, but also the portion.
Much you eat.
How much
you're portioning as well. Okay. And even the whole question about snacking, what exactly are we snacking on, right? Because yes, you might have the 3 meals if it works for you, because I like the fact that you're saying, listen, do what works for you, right? Because at this point, I want to believe you understand your body, you understand how, you know, what your body needs and at what point. So consider that. But at the same time, what are we snacking on? Because majority of us will go for the sweets, would go for, you know, most of the time unhealthy
things,
you know, that we are snacking on.
Yeah, we call them empty calories.
Empty calories.
Yeah, you're taking in nothing.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Yeah.
Snacks can be anything like a fruit, right? Cup of yogurt, handful of nuts.
All right.
Basically anything that is going to compensate for the energy.
But remember, the same calories is what a lot of people try to avoid.
Yeah. You know, calories has really been a big talk.
It's a big, yeah.
It's a talk. But it depends on the quality of the calories.
Okay.
For example, if you do, let's say for example, you do a glass of yogurt.
Okay.
And someone does, obviously, soda.
All right.
Because you are hungry, you have a low blood sugar.
My body needs sugar.
Yeah,
My sugar levels are
they've gone down,
you know? Yeah.
They both have calories, but the one who has taken yogurt has more benefits to it, because we have the probiotics in the yogurt. You know, you benefit your whole body, right? So your snacks need to be what I call you need to be nutrition conscious when you're doing your snacking, right? It's not just anything.
Yeah.
Just because you have a low blood sugar doesn't mean you rush and do your soda or your sweets. No.
Yeah.
So a bowl of fruit, or just one fruit,
Okay.
a handful of nuts, your yogurt, those ones can be a very good.
Yeah. And speaking of fruits, and we see this a lot where people, some even during lunchtime, they would opt for a bowl of fruit. But now it has like almost every type of food. We usually call it like what a fruit salad. Make sure you have your right. So I've had some people say, don't do that. You cannot mix all your fruits and then eat all of them at once. If you choose to go for a mango, just do mango alone. If you choose to go for an apple, just do an apple alone. Why is that?
That's why I'm asking, because a bowl of fruit, you can, each fruit has its own benefit.
Okay.
Right? A mango gives you vitamin C, your banana will give you potassium. It's, for me, I will advise the timing of the fruit. That is what matters. Okay. Right? If you do a fruit salad, it's fine for you to do a fruit salad, because you're taking different types of fruit. Yeah. Right? But it's the timing.
No, they were saying, yes, you see how like different foods have different, you know, nutrients in them. So it's like you're confusing the body, because are you giving it vitamin C at the same time you're giving the body this and you're giving the body this. Like it's a lot of things that you end up confusing the body and creating more problem as compared to, you know, benefiting the body from the nutrients that you're getting from all those foods.
You know, the body can really, it takes what it needs.
Okay.
Whatever you give, it will take what it needs and just
dispense whatever it doesn't need.
So you can take a bowl of fruit, just portion it very well.
Okay.
Right? And the timing also matters. Like I said, if you do your fruit, I prefer you do it before
before
meals,
the meal. Okay.
Or 2 hours after.
All right.
Then now your body can take it.
Okay.
Can you know, digest it and use it very well. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. So the body will just take whatever it needs. What it doesn't need, it won't. Yeah. That's very interesting. Okay. So let's talk about at what point then we should start being conscious about our diet. There's some people who say, yeah, you know, when you are in your 20s, you know, you are full of energy and all this, so really, but then again, some people would say, me, when I get to my 30s is when I'll start being conscious about, because I do not want to deny myself, you know, this or that. So let's talk about this age thing and, you know, and nutrients and how our body functions, you know, at various stages of our lives.
When do you start eating healthy? I would say at when you pregnant,
can start eating anything.
But at 6 months. The moment you start introducing food to your child, that is when everything starts.
All right.
Because you can't really say, I will start at 30. The effects your body, the effect food has on your body, it's long term, right? It kind of accumulates, it compounds. So you can't start at 30. You start at 6 months.
All right.
And then from there, you go on from there.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, and age does affect what we eat. Obviously, a young child, as they grow, they need more than we do.
All right.
So it depends on your energy
needs. They need more
needs
in terms of the nutrients, or they need more in
both
terms
energy and nutrients.
All right.
Yeah, because the body is developing quite fast, right? But what you take is determined by your age, by your weight, obviously, and physical activity.
All right.
Yeah. So not two people are the same.
Okay.
Right. So there's no one diet fits all kind of thing. Right. So you do what works for you, working on you where you are, right, in terms of age, your height, your weight and age. I've said age and your physical activity.
Yeah. All right. So consider that and then start early.
Start early.
And it's very interesting because kids then adapt to whatever it is that you give them.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
Yeah.
Because childhood obesity is a thing.
Oh yes, it's very concerning, and especially right now.
And it compounds, and that child will grow on to have lifestyle conditions way later in life. Because of what they ate in their early years, right? So it starts from the moment you begin to give your child complementary feeds. That is when it starts.
Okay. All right. And then what do we do? And it's because you talked about an aspect of denying our bodies, and especially in this case we're talking about calories and all those things. So people will deny, for example, the babies, they'll be like, yeah, don't take this, this is not good for you, you will not take it. So we will completely do away with that from our diets. But then again, the body sort of like needs some of the nutrients in that food that you're denying the baby. So then how do we strike a balance?
In terms of food pairing or food, okay. I always advise your diet should always follow the principles of nutrition.
Very basic.
The basics we have kind of left the basics, and we're doing our own thing, right? But it needs to follow that. It needs to be it has to be balanced. By balance, I mean it has all the food groups. You have your carbohydrates, you have, if we have a huge category of foods under carbohydrates. So if you don't like rice, you can go for your potatoes. You can do your ugali, you can do your chapati and all that, right? So you have a whole. But it needs to be balanced. Have your carbohydrates, have your protein, have your fats and your vitamins, right? It needs to be balanced. It needs to be adequate, right? Providing you with the calories that you need. Right? It needs to be variety. You can't just eat one food. You can't just say, I like rice. So
I'm sure you've had a lot of people say, maybe lazima tukule ugali. If I do not have my ugali, sijakula.
But every food gives you a different type of nutrient.
True.
And vitamins and all that. So you've got to have variety. If you eat rice in the morning, you can't do rice again. As much as it's your favorite food.
Do something else.
You gotta have variety, and it has to be moderate. Like, can we watch our portions? That is what we need to. Can we just watch how much we are eating?
Okay. But how much is too much then? Like, how do I know that this is too much for me? Because again, remember how we have been brought up, and especially since the early childhood stages, right? Where unakewa chakula unaambiwa lazima umalize. If you do not finish it, you'll be chapward, right? So most of us have grown knowing a lot is better. A lot is, so, and then the way they say that your stomach expands and then it contracts and all those things. So the more you continue to eat a lot, the more your stomach expands. That's when ukijipatia tena food kidogo is like, I'm hungry. So then how do I know what is enough for me?
It comes down to your, that is individualized, right?
Okay.
Based on the number of calories you're supposed to take. Right. So if you calculate, okay, I'm not going to go into calculations, but I would love to use a plate method where you do quarter of your meals are supposed to be your carbohydrates, the other quarter your protein, and then half of it vegetables. I mean, that's a very good guide. You can use that.
They say you should eat like a size, for example, what's like, and especially for the carbs, to do like a feast, right? So if my feast is tiny, so someone will be like, but but I like that. So get to see what your plate looks like. That is what will guide you. Okay.
Learn how to stop yourself, right? Because you will eat, your body will tell you I'm full. It always does.
But your brain tells you, but
So the more you eat, the more your stomach expands.
All right. How about we take a break, and of course when we come back, we'll also talk about the different things that people do. We've had some people do fat diets. We've had some people take pills, the weight loss pills. Do they work? Others will actually go the home, the herbal way and all those things. So we'll get to see, what works, what's healthy and what's an unhealthy way, of maintaining, either your ideal weight or your nutrients and nutritional value, that what your body is getting, and then what we should all be cautious about. And of course, all that is coming up after the break. Remember, the question that we're asking you is, have you tried any diet or any form of diet, and has it worked? We'll be coming back with more of your feedback. Stay with us. This is Your World.
Own your dream home from as low as 1.98 million Kenya shillings within the popular and rapidly expanding prime neighborhood of Vipingo, Kilifi. Call us today on 0740 400 215.
Import your dream SUV with Murray Daddy Motors. Just pay a deposit of 1 million shillings and the balance when your vehicle arrives. Murray Daddy Motors. Over 15 years experience in car importation and over 5,000 cars safely delivered.
What credentials does Gabriel have to be worthy of assuming your duties while you're away?
Can he handle the responsibilities entrusted to him?
What credentials does Gabriel possess? He's a business management graduate. Now let me remind all of you, I'm still the major stockholder of this company. Gabriel will stay.
Stop bothering me at work, okay? I'm very busy right now.
Come on, son. I'm in serious trouble, so help me out here. Please help me out.
I have no money left. What am I supposed to do?
What if he rats out to your father? I'll end up in jail.
Dad, I promise I won't fail you.
You can go now.
Forever my love. Recharge and get upgraded to make memories with your loved ones this new year. Anytime, anywhere. Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
This is the baobab seed powder, a product of the baobab fruit, a source rich in vitamins and a popular native snack across sub-Saharan Africa. I'm here at the Kenyan coast where a foreign international has been on the spotlight for accusations of biopiracy relating to the harvesting for export of baobab trees. I'm here to find out what is at stake. I do a lot of intricate work because my background is henna painting, but then later I decided to take those designs onto other mediums like wood and glass, ceramics.
All right, welcome back. Glad you're still with us. The show is Your World, and of course, it's all about nutrition and wellness today. Great insights that we're getting as far as just maintaining or taking the approach of a holistic living, right? In this sense, of course, we're looking at our health versus just, some of these fad diets that do not work and denying our bodies, some of the nutrients that the body actually needs in the name of me, I want to maintain a certain weight, and then that's it, right? But what exactly, or how healthy are you even as you maintain that ideal weight, you know, and denying yourself what the body needs? So Mary Musimu, who's a clinical nutritionist, is here to help us with the same. So if you have any question for her, feel free to interact with us. Give us a call. The numbers are down on your screen, or better yet, use our social media platforms. And the question that we're asking you is, have you tried any form of diet, and does it work? All right. Has it ever worked for you? And Mary, of course, we've had a lot, and I'm pretty sure being a nutritionist, you've also come across various things that people do, you know, with the same, and that is the whole question about diet, just to make sure that we maintain, you know, an ideal weight. But again, the question is then, how healthy are we, even as we maintain that, you know? And I was telling you during the break that one of the things that I had is people actually taking tapeworms so that they feel full all the, I mean, it's just even to think about it, so that they stay full. Yeah, you don't feel hungry all the time, but then again, when you get hungry and you eat, the body will not get anything. It is the tapeworm who will
eat it for you.
It's just crazy. First of all, can we just address how safe is that?
It's not safe, right? Tapeworm in your body, tapeworm will cause diseases. So why are we doing the short-term kind of fix to your problem? If you want to stay full for long, why don't you eat your vegetables and get enough fiber from it? Fiber tends to keep you, you know, full for longer, and it's healthy because it helps your gut. But tapeworm, no, tapeworms, no, they will cause problems. They will cause diseases in the long term. You know, the problem we have is that we tend, like I was telling you, we tend to focus on the short term goals of it, right? As long as I've attained my weight, goal, I'm good, right? As long as I've lowered my blood sugar, I'm okay. But how safe are the diet? You know, for example, I came across a guy in early 2020. He was diabetic, and his sugars were quite high, and he decided to do a carnivore diet. A carnivore diet is the one that you only eat meat. Right? No vegetables, no carbohydrates, just meat, right? And the blood sugar came down, obviously, because you're not taking carbohydrate. But what are the long-term effects of that? Right? Red meat, it creates uric acid. The end product is uric acid, which causes gout at the end of the day, right? You eat fish. Fish is good.
It's good, yes.
But it has mercury, poisoning. So how safe is your diet in the long term? Right? We focus so much, as long as I have attained my goal, that's it. You know, I've lost weight, I'm good. But how is your gut? You know, how is your immunity? How are your hormones? You know,
what are some of the telltale signs that this person is not, like, you're not healthy, like your body does not have some of these nutrients that, you know, it needs, because you're only focusing, like you're saying, on the short-term goal, you know? So what are the telltale? How do I know?
How you know? One, if you have a poor gut, you will know. You will have, okay, first of all, let's start with the immunity, right? You have pure immunity, meaning ugonjwa yote nakuja,
you get sick all the time,
right? Especially a cold flu. Every season you are in it, right? It's a sign you have an immune problem, which means your body is not healthy, right? You have a poor gut, meaning you have things like constipation. Constantly, you're bloated all the time, you're irritable. But being irritable is a sign
your gut
something is wrong with your gut, right? You have
no, there could be something. Your gut is telling you something.
Right? You have hormonal imbalance. It's actually one of the signs of it, right? You have sleep deprivation. People who don't, and not just the quantity of sleep, because we tend to say, I've slept for 7 hours, so I'm good. But what about the quality of the sleep? How well did you sleep?
Do you sleep?
We have things like poor, you know, you have low energy, you're lethargic, you know, like I said, irritability, all those, they're signs something is wrong. You know, your diet ain't working as much as you've lost the weight, but how about all these other things, right? So when you're focusing on your weight loss program, because that seems to be the goal for everybody these days, right? We need to focus on a more holistic kind of thing, approach, not just diet. Because your diet is okay, but let's start, like I said, we have like six pillars to your health. We have our gut health, we have hormones, we do have your stress levels, how well do you manage stress, right? And emotional health, we have your diet, your exercise, and your sleep. All those things need to be working.
All right.
For your body to actually be healthy. It's not just about your diet, it's mentally, physically, and socially.
Emotionally,
okay.
It's everything,
it's everything
in between. So if you find yourself, again, like you said, some people would actually sleep even for 10 hours, but still are tired, you know? You don't feel like doing anything, you're just tired. So then something tells you there's a bit of an issue
and sleep is very
over there. Sleep is important.
It is.
Sleep is very important,
I read somewhere that it affects our serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter, right? That it influences our body. The way, including our perception, right? How well you will react to a situation if you're not well, you're not well rested. It's going to be very different from how well you will tackle the same situation if you slept well, right? So it affects how we view things, our perception, our everything else. Sleep is very important.
Absolutely.
Not just the quantity, but also the quality.
But the quality of sleep as well. That is very, very important. Okay, and then let's talk about then all these types of diets that people will. We've heard about keto. We've heard about the whole question about the slimming pills and the slimming teas and the intermittent fasting. It's just too much. Can we first of all start with intermittent fasting? Is it a healthy way of maintaining our weight and making sure that we are healthy, or we take it sometimes too far?
People take it too far.
Okay.
Too far to the point where you start having things like gallstones and all that. Intermittent fasting is, you know, where you fast for quite a number of hours and then you eat. Kind of alternate between fasting and eating.
And eating, all right.
Yeah. But we have several types. But for me, I'm not a supporter.
You don't advocate for intermittent fasting?
I'm not, because research that is there, it does help the body, right? It will help you lose weight, but the primary goal of IF, intermittent fasting, is metabolic flexibility, where your body can, you know, automatically switch between the states, fat burning and all that, right? But the people who lose weight, it helps with your cholesterol levels, it will help with your heart health and all that, but in the short term, right?
All right.
There are no studies at the moment that can say what are the long-term effects of intermittent fasting, right? One. Number two, the studies that are there, they have been done on animals, not human beings, right? And some of them state that, actually there's one that says that women who do IF are more likely, some of them, not all, to get fertility problems at some point, right? Because it affects one of the major hormones for ovulation and fertility, right?
All right.
And so if you're going to do IF, I will just advise, seek medical advice first. Don't just wake up and say, I'm going to do IF. I've seen people doing it, so I'm going to do it, right? So seek advice and then see where you are. It's not for everybody. It works for some people, but not for everybody.
But not for everybody. No. And you see, this is the thing. Majority of the times we depend on our friends for advice. You know, you saw person A going through intermittent fasting. It worked for them, but like you're saying, it's for short-term goal, right? It worked for them, and then immediately we take up their
thing,
right? We take up their schedule and everything, and then we want to also try the same and see if it works for us. And this is a really big problem because we don't seek, you know, not medical advice, you know. But no, as long as it worked for Winnie, somebody else will go and do it, and that is not how we're supposed to do it. So seek advice first before thinking about intermittent fasting, because then you get to understand all those things, how your body works, how it responds, and all those things. So seek advice. All right, let's address the whole question about the slimming teas and the slimming pills.
I'm going to say this with all the confidence I can muster. They don't work.
At all?
They don't work.
All right.
At all. They will, let me tell you, if you start today and introduce, let's say you cut down the number of calories you take, right? Or you introduce something into your body, your body will react, obviously. And one of the reaction is you will lose weight. But, you know, our weight is so much than fat. We have water, we have muscle mass, we have bone mass. So you will lose water, right? And say you've lost weight. But what really have you lost? You've lost weight, but what have you lost?
What exactly?
What exactly have you lost? Because the goal here is to do fat loss, right?
All right.
But when you start any type of diet, the first one to go is water, right? So they don't work.
Right.
Why do you will see someone who has done slimming tea, herbal teas, the fat diet, crash diets, all of that, and they have lost weight, and then you meet them a couple of months later, and you're like, what happened?
What happened?
What happened to you? You've gained all of it back because, like I said earlier, our body goes into survival mode when you don't give it enough nutrients.
All right.
Right? So it will try to protect itself, and in that it slows metabolism, and it tries to hang on to everything that you're putting in it, so you don't lose weight.
Okay.
And the moment, because they're not sustainable, I mean, no crash diet is sustainable. The moment you regain your normal diet, it will go back.
Yeah.
It will try to recover what you've lost.
Yeah.
So you gain it all back.
Absolutely. And then there's some people with like underlying conditions who might also want to try some of the things. Again, for example, you know, the person you were talking about who, right, brought down their sugar levels, but you know, at the same time they weren't healthy. So then seek medical advice first of all, given, you know, the underlying conditions and all those things. Everybody.
Before, actually, I like to insist, the first, after you've seen your doctor, the other person you're supposed to see is your nutritionist. Where are you? Like, when you're doing your annual checkup, go and see your nutritionist. Where are you in terms of your diet? Are you on the right path? What needs to change? Because these diseases they're preventable, absolutely. But the moment they come in, because they're not curable, you now get into the management aspect of it. But they are preventable. So visit your nutritionist annually, or if you want, after every 6 months. Go and see where am I in terms of my health. Right, everybody. And now the people who have an existing medical condition, or they need more support and more attention. So you need to work with a team, right, to ensure you're good, your health is fine.
All right. Okay. So then, and even as the world moves towards preventive care as compared to curative, because again, I think we've realized that curative care is just too expensive. It's just too expensive. It is not working. We're waiting until we get sick for us to go to a hospital, and yet there's some of the things that we can prevent. So then, how do we use food, you know, as a form of preventive care, so that again we avoid some of these, you know, diseases that we shouldn't have in the first place, simply because we're not observing our diet.
But I don't want to just rely on food only and say food is the only thing. No.
Yeah.
We have other aspects
about like a holistic approach to this thing.
Right? And it's so simple to be healthy that I think we avoid the simplicity of it. Because we like the I don't know. Because it's simple, you know, eat a healthy diet, make sure it's balanced, has all the food groups. The more variety you have, the better, right? Eat your fruit, sleep well. I mean, exercise, reduce stress. It's so simple. It's like
it's something that we've had almost on a daily.
But we don't practice it
now,
right? But the problem, like for example, let me tell you, we live in a society that has kind of elevated junk food. Like when people go out, you know, their thing is we need to do KFC, we need to do Pizza Inn, right? But those are junk food. We have kind of attached that to wealthy. You know, you're doing well. You know, because you're doing all that. But really, I think that's why some of these diseases are for the wealthy. You know, the gout and your diabetes and hypertension, because it's not. We need to move away from the way we have been brought up, right? Because we've been brought up to think junk food means means you're healthy, you're wealthy. Breakfast, I mean, dinner is the most important. We need to move from that. We need to go back to the basics. The basics of all this, right? And that means a balanced diet. As much as even if you go out and do your junk, which I'm not saying don't do it. I mean, at some point you will want to do it.
There's some people who completely don't do it, but there's some who are like, you deny yourself for a while, and then once you have that opportunity,
you overdo it.
You go ham. Because again, you never know, you know, when you will, or you've made that, you know, conscious decision to not to do junk food for like an entire month, for example. So the whole question is, there should be a balance.
There should be a balance.
All right.
You know, and our body, for example, our bodies, they crave what we don't have, right? So if you're craving your fatty foods, it means your fat level in the body, your body needs something.
All right.
So if you do that, if you're craving something fatty, you know, or salty, go and do your fish.
Okay.
All right, go and do fish, get a fish or do a chicken. The craving will go away because you've already provided your body what it needs, right?
Needs. Right?
If you're craving sugar, it means your body, the energy levels have gone down. It's not really craving sugar, it needs energy.
All right.
So give it something nutritious. You don't need to do sugary stuff.
Yeah.
You can do some nuts, your yogurt, and your body goes back to normal. It stops the craving. Right? It craves what it doesn't have.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you observe, you know, all those things. But at the same time, there's the whole question about BMI and how that should also help us in terms of, you know, understanding where we are at as far as our bodies is concerned and what it needs, so that we don't, you know, cross that line, right? So then understanding this, so then how do we balance, you know, our meals, just to make sure that then we're not under eating and we're not overeating and we're not exercising or we're not over exercising, you know, because there's some people who, me, I'm at the gym every single day of the week. It's like 3 hours crashing, you know, all those things. So how much exercise is recommended, again, given different, different people and different body types as well?
Well, it depends on your body type, like you've said, but the recommendation is doing 150 minutes a week, which can be, you can do 30 minutes every day or 75 minutes, you know, alternating days. But clock 150 minutes for your health, for your heart to function. But if you want to do muscle building, then you obviously, you need to increase that.
Yeah.
But for your heart function,
150 minutes a week.
Of aerobic a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Of moderate intensity workout, like walking, you running, jumping, dancing, things like that.
Yeah.
Like 150 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, a week.
A week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then understanding our BMI, for those people who don't really know BMI and what is important for them to understand about their BMI, and then how that informs, you know, the decisions that they make as far as their health is concerned.
Okay. Well, BMI has been used for quite a while in terms of where you are health-wise. If you have 18 to 24.5, you're healthy. Above that, there's an issue.
Yeah.
But okay, let me just say this. BMI
have a bit
is
of reservations? Yeah,
I do. I have. BMI is your weight and height.
And your height, yes.
Yeah. But I'm going to give myself as an example. I was, I think, 22. 22 BMI. Okay. But I went for a checkup and I had, my blood fat was high, my cholesterol was a bit high, you know. I'm healthy in terms of BMI, but what else is going on in your body, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So as much as we rely on BMI to know if you're within the acceptable
healthy spectrum,
the acceptable weight range, let me just say that. We need to also go a bit higher and find out what really is going on inside your body.
All right.
Right? It's not just about the BMI. That's why I'm reserved about it.
About BMI.
Yeah,
I hear you. Because again, we just focus on the number, and then that's it. And then that's it. But maybe we're not healthy. Yeah, like and that is why the checkups are
the
important.
Number, you know, that number, like you step on the weighing scale and, you know, I'm 60, which is okay. But then you do a blood test and you find out my fat level are high. Your cholesterol is high, you are insulin resistant and all that, right? So your checkup is very important.
Absolutely.
Completely, yeah, it's not just about the number.
So how often should one go for the, for the checkup? I know you say like once in a year maybe.
Annual checkup is okay, but if you have a medical problem, I think quite every month you need to visit a nutritionist. For proper management.
Absolutely. All right. So then we literally have like 3 minutes, you know, to end this conversation. But there's also another group of people who are underweight, and they are struggling to bring up their weight to the optimum level, right? But then the approach is you eat more carbohydrate, right? For you to actually increase. Exactly. Is this correct, or is this a risk?
Our bodies are different, right? We have people who tend to be petite. We have those ones who, God have mercy on them, they put on anything they eat, they add weight, right? But we petite, like I was sometime, we tend to think that the more food you eat, the fatter you become, right? But what's the quality of the food you're eating?
That you're eating.
Right? Because you can be very petite, but ndani tukikuchinja,
there's a lot.
Right? Because your body type does not allow you to, it doesn't accept a lot of weight. So if you're that kind of a person, you're a petite person, don't focus more on the fat gain. Let's not change focus to muscle, because they tend to gain muscle.
True.
And if you gain muscle, you also look good. So don't do that.
All right.
Let's focus on doing a healthy diet, but also increase your strength training.
Okay.
Yeah, for the muscle building.
Okay. All right. So don't do a lot of carbs because you
want to.
and all those things. All right. So then, in a nutshell, what is it that one needs to leave this conversation with? You know, as far as maintaining our health, because again, like we're saying today, the approach is not just understanding your weight, but make sure that you know you are whole. You know, so take that approach of holistic living and understanding what your intake of, for example, your diet and your exercise and everything else encompassed. What it is that you'd want someone
people to know. Okay.
Yeah.
It is said elephants don't bite, mosquitoes do, right?
Okay.
It is the, those small
I literally had like a visual of the same. Okay.
Elephants don't bite, mosquitoes do. It is
Yeah.
those small habits that we have. Adding a teaspoon of sugar to your tea, having one more serving spoon to your meal.
Yeah.
That at that moment it doesn't show anything, but compounded every time you do it, it's going to have an effect, right? So the first thing is that you need to start with small, very consistent goals.
All right.
Right? Don't just say I'm going to work out 2 hours.
People say I want to hit the gym.
Yeah.
End of story.
Every January.
Right?
Yes. I'm gonna do workout and you've never worked out in your life, so it's gonna fail. I think I read it somewhere that we don't rise up to the levels of our goals, we fall down to the quality of our systems. If you don't have a system to support your workout, you will fail. Right? So if you've never worked out before, for example, I will suggest start by walking. Don't just say I'm gonna hit the gym. Start by walking a kilometer. Then increase it. With time, your body adjusts. And you will want to go to the gym because it has become a lifestyle.
And the body tells you. I
want to work out.
the way it communicates, yes.
And we, as a people, I think we tend to think of health and wellness as a one-time event. Right? You've lost your weight, so I'm good. But it's a lifestyle that you adopt, right? So you need to have a system in place that supports you. Eat a balanced diet, sleep well, exercise, reduce stress. It's as simple as that. And balance your hormones. That's it.
Okay.
Right?
And I like the fact that you're insisting it is as simple as that, but then again,
simple,
sometimes when it comes to, when it comes to ensuring that we practice that and we follow that,
the problem is that we are living in a world of we are over-informed. So we are wondering what to do with all that information. And we need to go back to the basics of everything. It's as simple as that. Eat well, sleep, exercise, reduce stress. That's it.
And then that's it.
That's it.
Hi, man. I wish everything was just as simple as that.
Simple as that.
But again, practice it. And I like the fact that you're saying, listen, slow, but consistent steps that you take. And this is like a holistic approach, as far as that is concerned. So that again, we at the end of the day, we maintain a healthy lifestyle, throughout, not just a one-time event. All right, so we have to close it here. I mean, listen, we could talk about this over and over again, but I'll go back to the basics. That's it. Go back to the basics. Simple steps, and increase the momentum as you go by, so that by end of February, because the statistic that was saying, majority of the people, their goals actually fall off by February. We're done.
Gym capacity goes down by I think 70%.
Yes, by February. But thank you so much, Mary, for coming by today. Mary Musimu, clinical nutritionist, giving us all the insights as far as a holistic approach is concerned, and this is when it comes to health and wellness. So I believe that you've taken in a lot from today's conversation, please make sure that you also put that into practice so that we see that throughout. But for now, have yourselves a lovely day ahead. I'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, right here on Your World. But until then, stay safe, and of course a big thank you to everybody who made sure that the show is a success. Stay safe and see you tomorrow.